Breaking: FBI caught in major Russia scandal, this is bad. New evidence has emerged showing that the FBI decided to use unreliable, compromised information in its investigation into possible Russian collusion. Former Trump campaign volunteer Carter Page testified before Congress, revealing that the FBI was using the Democrat finance dossier as the basis of its investigation and interrogations, according to the Washington Times. Mr. Page recently testified before the House Intelligence Committee, which released a transcript Monday. U.S. Representative Trey Gowdy, RSC, was particularly interested in how the FBI conducted its probe of the Trump-Russia collusion narrative. "So what were the questions the FBI had for you?" asked Rep. Gowdy. "It was an extensive series of many meetings, but they, the core foundation, I would say, in terms of the overall structure in March 2017, was related to those false allegations from the DOJ dossier," responded Mr. Page. He went on to say that the allegations in the dossier along with the associated investigations have ruined his energy firm. With no business income, he said he is now living off of his investments and constantly having to worry about death threats. "There are no sources of income right now. I'm burning through savings right now," he lamented. Having worked and lived in Moscow in the early 2000s as a Merrill Lynch banker, Carter Page was one of the primary targets in the dossier, besides Mr. Trump himself. The document in question was a product of former British spy Christopher Steele, whom the Democrat-backed opposition research firm Fusion GPS hired to craft the dossier. Considering Steele's connections within the intelligence community, including a respected history with various U.S. agencies, the firm felt that Steele would be ideally suited to this line of work. The document claims that the Russians had compromising information on Mr. Trump. However, recent findings showed that Fusion GPS was paid by both the Clinton campaign as well as the DNC. Mark Elias, a Clinton campaign lawyer, commissioned Fusion GPS through his own law firm, Perkins Coie, to conduct the research. He receiving $5.6 million and $3.6 million in legal compensation from the Clinton campaign and the DNC respectively, as reported by Fox News. The British spy accused Mr. Page of several felonies, including meeting with Russian officials, promising to end U.S. sanctions against Russia in exchange for a brokerage commission. He also claimed that Mr. Page worked with Paul Manafort to hack computers belonging to the Democrat Party. The Trump campaign volunteer denies all the charges, adding that he has never met Mr. Manafort. When asked if all the FBI questions were related to the dossier, Mr. Page responded, "Not all of them, but I would say that was a central foundation, and again, it would sort of branch out from there. Every word in that about me is completely false. The core allegations of that document were certainly all false," Mr. Page said. He has filed libel lawsuits against Yahoo News and Huffington Post for repeating Mr. Steele's allegations. "Any pain I've been through in this committee is minuscule compared to the DOJ dossier inflicted destruction of my life," he said. The fact that the FBI felt this document was a trustworthy source on which to base their investigations is a worrisome sign. Considering the other scandals that have plagued the Bureau's leadership, it's not surprising that President Trump fired FBI Director Comey when he did.